All right, well, hello and welcome to today's Acres USA webinar. My name is Paul Meyer. I'm the editor of Acres USA magazine. Today's presentation and Q&A session will focus on the process of transitioning to USDA certified organic production. And this webinar is sponsored by OCIA International. That's the Organic Crop Improvement Association, an organization dedicated to providing farmers assistance in doing exactly what we're talking about today, the journey to organic certification. This webinar is also being supported through USDA's new TOP program, the Transition to Organic Partnership Program, a new initiative that's providing support to farmers who wish to transition to organic. It specifically includes funding for certified organic farmers to serve as mentors for new and aspiring organic farmers. Our presenter today is Marg Laberge, who is the President of Research and Education at OCIA. And Marg wasn't raised on a farm, but she began to learn about organic farming in the early 2000s, spent most of her career teaching accounting and computer software programs at colleges in the Northwest. And then a friend introduced her to OCIA, and they needed some assistance with the skills that she had. And so she retired from teaching and has continued working with OCIA and has been able to mentor many farmers on the organic certification process and in understanding the regulations. And her current position is the President of Research and Education at OCIA. And so with that, I do want to say this webinar is being recorded and will be available on Acres USA's YouTube channel and OCIA's as well, I believe. And you can learn more about Acres USA, our magazine, books, live events, and more at acresusa.com. So with that, I'll hand it over to you, Marg. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Paul. We're ready to get going on Introduction to Organic Certification. And we'll begin with a description of organic agriculture. So organic is the only type of agriculture with a set of principles that put nature first. These principles are enshrined in industry-developed standards, verified annually by accredited third-party certification bodies. It's a whole system farming approach that promotes an ecological balance and conserves biodiversity. So a healthy soil is the foundation of organic farms, and pests and weeds are controlled by crop rotations, soil improvements, birds and predator insects, row covers, and weeding of forced labor. So what is organic certification? So prohibited materials cannot be applied to your land for 36 months. Organic certification provides verification that the operation is following the organic standards. It allows the use of organic labeling, involves annual paperwork, record keeping, and an inspection. But there is one exemption: producers whose sales of organic products less than $5,000 annually and in compliance with the organic standards may use the term organic, but not the logo. So who monitors the organic standards? So first up, USDA's National Organic Program, or the NOP. It oversees the National Organic Standards, also known as the NOP Final Rule, and it manages the national list of allowed and prohibited substances. The National Organic Standards Board makes recommendations about materials and practices used in organic production. Organic certification agencies, the USDA accredits certifiers to act on its behalf, and of course, organic inspectors. So what's prohibited? We have persistent pesticides, synthetic macronutrient fertilizers, the routine use of drugs, antibiotics, or synthetic hormones, animal cloning, genetic engineering or GMOs, sewage sludge or biosolids, irradiation or radiation, radioactivity, contamination, artificial food colors, flavors, sweeteners, preservatives, and many other processing aids and ingredients in processed foods. So if you want to use inputs or seed inoculants, check with your certifier first. They will need a copy of the label and the safety data sheet to review the product to ensure that it is safe for organic production. Have the product approved before you purchase it. We also recommend checking out the OMRI website. That's the Organic Materials Review Institute. It provides a list of brand name products that are acceptable for use with or without restrictions, and a list of generic ingredients that are acceptable or unacceptable in inputs used for organic production. So when you're on the website, you can do a keyword search and you can use specific brand names if you're actually looking to see if that brand is allowed, or general terms such as weed control, pest control, or whatever you are looking for. So why go organic? So since 2006, the organic market has tripled in value. $61.7 billion in organic sales in 2022, according to the Organic Trade Association. Consumers now want a healthier and sustainable lifestyle. As an organic farmer, you'll rely on energy efficient and cost-effective fertilizers and pesticides, such as manure and legumes. And low-cost inputs plus premium sales provide a higher profit for your lifestyle. The organic market grew despite challenging headwinds like inflation pressures, tightening consumer wallets, along with the supply chain disruption caused by the pandemic, labor shortage, and global political events. Inflation heated up costs and boosted prices in, in the grocery aisles, but organic sales still increased. So what are the annual steps to certification? Notice I said the word annual. This must be done every year. So start off by contacting a certification agency. Apply to the TOP program, the Transition to Organic Partnership Program. It's a super program that's there to help you. Submit an application and organic system plan, and you'll need to do this 3 to 6 months before you wish to harvest or sell any organic products. And with your documentation, write not applicable on sections that don't apply, but read each question carefully because there's not many questions that won't apply to your operation. Have an inspection. Inspections are scheduled while the crop is growing for producers and when the facility is ready to run organic products for processors. Then respond to your agency's questions and receive a decision. So the average turnaround time is 30 to 60 days after all required paperwork has arrived for review. And then apply for a cost share rebate. So let's have a look at a schematic of the certification process. So here's you, the applicant. You send in your application, your documentation, your organic system plan, whatever your certifier needs. So once the certifier receives it, they go through it to make sure the application is complete. If it's not, it goes back to you to complete. If it is complete, it moves on for a pre-inspection review. If the pre-inspection review is not approved, it goes back to you again to complete whatever sections they found weren't completely complete. So if it is approved, it moves on for an on-site inspection. So once the inspection is completed, the inspector will send your documents, their documents, to your certifier for a post-inspection, file coordination, and third-party independent review. At this point is when you may get questions from your certifier again. So have a look at those questions, answer them as quickly and as completely as you can, and send them back. Then you will receive your decision or your certificate or a letter saying that you've completed your transition on such and such a date. The most important thing that I can tell you is don't hold off. They will give you 30 days to do this, but don't wait the 30 days. As soon as you get the questions, answer them right away. Otherwise, it's going to hold up your certificate. So researching certifiers, how do you find a good certifier? There are approximately 80 agencies authorized to certify farms and businesses to the USDA organic regulations. Find a certifier that holds a very high integrity for the organic industry, one that can provide support and assistance with paperwork through regional or associations, has your interests at heart, can help with marketing, can provide transaction certificates for your audit trail, puts back into the organic industry, and offers additional programs or assistance to their clients, such as transition programs or research and education organizations. So check them out at www.ams.usda.gov/resources/organic-certifying-agents and see the entire list of certified agents. So I'll just take a little bit to talk about OCIA research and education. So our mission is to support organic research, facilitate connections between farmers, researchers, consumers, and decision makers, and educate producers and communities regarding organic farming and foods. We offer microgrants for organic research, and these findings will help our current members. We also offer educational microgrants, which bring organics into the classroom. The awards range from $500 to $3,000. We offer scholarships for organic research projects conducted by graduate students, and these awards range from $500 to $1,000. So since starting in 2004, we have given away over $80,000. We have Farmer of the Year awards, we partner with universities, and we have a mentorship program that's been in existence ever since we began, and it partners new organic farmers with a certified farmer to assist them with the complete certification process, visiting their farm twice a year and providing guidance where needed. Research and education pays for their travel expenses. So we were super excited to hear about the Transition to Organic Partnership Program. So how do you apply? So in the fall of 2022, the USDA announced investment of up to $300 million to launch the Organic Transition Initiative. It's a suite of programs to support transitioning farmers to organic production. The Agriculture Marketing Service just launched the Organic Market Development Program to help expand the organic agricultural supply chain. The USDA has partnered with trusted local organizations to administer TOP throughout the 6 regions of the US. So what is the TOP program? It's farmer-to-farmer mentoring, providing educational and technical assistance on agronomy, help with certification, help with extensions. Let's say you want to export into other countries, conservational planning, business development, assistance with all the regulations, and marketing. So the TOP program offers mentors a stipend of $3,000 per year, and they can work with more than one farmer at a time. They can work as a group where they're teaching several different farmers all at the same time. This will provide them $4,000 annually per group, or they can work with multiple one-on-one sessions. So they'll get $3,000 for the first mentee and $2,500 for each additional mentee. So you can apply or get more information at www.ams.usda.gov/services/organic-certification/TOP with 2 Ps. So what are the expectations? You have to commit to 45 hours per yearly program cycle. So 12 months worth, whether you start in June, then it'll end in May 31st. It includes 2 on-farm visits per year, one at the mentor farm and one at the mentee's farm. It includes at least 3 touch points during the growing season with the mentee. It includes mentor training and end-of-year meetings. We suggest attending with the mentee at one community farm event or trade show, or suggest speaking at or even hosting an educational event, virtual or in person. You'll create mentor-mentee agreements to support the structure of their experience. It includes communication plan, learning objectives. The expected modes of communication include video, telephone, text, email, video communications, and in-person meetings. And lastly, communicate timely and consistently with mentees and program staff. So back to certification. What is all the paperwork? It sounds like lots, but really it's a few minutes worth of your time. So you start off with a certification application. This will tell your certifier the basic contact information and type of certification that you require. The operator's licensing agreement, this is the contract between you and your certifier. You will have modules for either crops, livestock, or handling, or some people call it processing. Each begins with an activity checklist, and you complete all that applies to your operation. So if you just do crops, you only complete the crops modules. If you have crops and livestock, you do both. And if you have all three, so let's say you do seed cleaning, then you're also going to have crops, livestock, and handling. So that will take you a bit more time. Record-keeping documents begin with your field history, a record of what you plan to plant this year and what you did plant the previous 3 years. A prior land use affidavit may be required if you were not the landowner or manager for the past 3 years. You'll need a field map that shows acres, water sources, buffers, and your neighbor's farming methods. Are they conventional or are they organic neighbors? Farm equipment cleanout records. This is if you farm organic and conventional. And a yearly activity log or a farm record book showing organic activity on each of your fields. You could even use a calendar if necessary. Storage records, what is in each bin at any given time. So let's look at the first module, organic crops. Starting off with seeds, all seeds must be organic. Records of a documented seed search must be kept if an untreated, non-GMO seed is used instead of an organic seed. So sometimes the quantity, the quality, or the variety of seed that you desire is not available as organic. So this is an option for you. So you have to contract 3 organic farmers or seed suppliers for availability before purchasing. Some certifiers recommend that the seed search be approved before the purchase of non-organic seed. During your 36 months of transition, you may plant non-GMO seed that has not been treated with prohibited substance. Find out the type of seed that will grow best in your soil and weather conditions. Soil building crop rotations are key. They provide organic carbon and nitrogen. A variety of root depths help to distribute nutrients, breaks the cycles of weeds, pests, and disease. And manure, raw animal manure, may be applied to crops not used for human consumption. Check with your certifier regarding processed manures. So a little bit about weeds. How do you get rid of these things? Well, the first thing is naturally. You can mulch with fully biodegradable materials, livestock grazing, hand weeding or mechanical cultivation. You can use cover crops, crop rotations that mix up the seeding times and harvest times and assist with types of in-season weed control. Perennials added to your rotation makes it easier to manage harder weeds. Secondly, the mechanical and physical management practices like mowing, cultivating, flame, heat, or electrical means. Lastly, the third method, non-synthetic biological, botanical, or mineral inputs, such as plastic or synthetic mulches that can be removed from the field at the end of the growing or harvest season. Organic approved inputs made from naturally occurring bacteria or plant extracts can be used. Acidic, acid-based inputs can be used around buildings, right-of-ways, ditches, where organic crops are not grown. It will kill all grasses and everything in its path, so be careful. Also, check out the Drift Watch map and filter by certified organic. This is available throughout all of the US, showing what other types of farming is done near you so that you'll kind of have an idea of what the weeds will be like that will blow over into your area. Buffer zones. I just wanted to take a minute to talk about buffer zones. These are distinct, defined boundaries that must be in place to prevent the unintended application of a prohibited substance. Determination of buffer adequacy is left to the organic producer, inspector, and certifying agent on a case-by-case basis. It needs to be wide enough to prevent spray drift from contaminating your land. But if something out of the ordinary does happen, contact your certifier right away. You may harvest crops from the buffer zone, but you can't sell them as organic. You can sell it as conventional or give it away to a neighbor. Buffer zones must be shown on your farm map. So the organic system plan must include a description of practices and procedures to be performed and maintained, including the frequency with which they will be performed. A list of each substance to be used as a production input, indicating its composition, source, locations where it will be used, and documentation of commercial availability as applicable. A description of the monitoring practices and procedures to be performed and maintained, including the frequency with which they will be performed to verify that the plan is effectively implemented. And lastly, a description of the record-keeping system that you will implement. This is a listing of all document types that you will keep for your organic records. Second module, livestock. So organic management and input rules, including feed and supplements, are required to consider the following livestock organic: ruminants and swine, last third of gestation; poultry, day 2 of life; dairy, 1 year prior to the sale of organic milk. Be sure to check the livestock regulations to ensure you have all of the necessary records. Pastures like cropland have a 36-month transition period as well. Records and management, you must track each individual's birth, vaccinations, health issues, treatments, and events. You must give ruminant animals access to certified organic pasture during the entire growing season, and they must have free access to outdoors all year round. 30% of their DMI, which is dry matter intake, from certified organic pasture. So DMI is the level of intake that an animal must consume from a ration that contains the recommended energy concentration for the animal's stage of life and level of production. A recipe of food rations must be provided. Vaccination and other preventative measures are common. Antibiotics and growth hormones are prohibited. So a little bit about processing. I usually don't get a lot of processors that are listening to these webinars, but I'll go through it quickly. So each facility where organic products are processed or handled from butchering to processing must be certified for organic production. It ensures the integrity of the organic product can be defined as cooking, extracting, dehydrating, chilling, canning, jarring, anything that changes the actual product. Processors have a specific list of allowed and non-allowed products found in sections 205.605 and 606 of the NOP regulation. But you still must show that you searched for an organic version before using an ingredient on this list. It is most important, as this completely leads to human food. Records must include certificates for all organic ingredients, recipes detailing the percentage of every ingredient. The recipes don't need to include the measurements, just the percentage. And do remember, certifiers are bound by FOIP regulations. Product flow chart showing the route traveled for each ingredient once it enters your facility until it leaves, and a tracking system of the products whenever they're in storage, or there's the sales of them, cleaning and pest control, transportation. And I do want to talk a minute about pest management. This is a really, really important area. Pest management plans should focus on preventing pest access into the facility and manage environmental factors to prevent pest infestation. You must provide a map of all traps in and out and the outside of each facility. Mechanical or physical methods may be used: traps, lights, sounds, lures. You must provide labels and safety data sheets for every product for approval from your certifier before purchasing any products. Only if these management practices are ineffective can pest control products on the national list be used. Labeling. Organic labels are very closely regulated and must be approved by your certification agency. There are 3 types. 100% organic is used to label any product that is 100% organic. All the ingredients are organic, excluding sea, salt, and water. Sorry, they're considered natural. You may use the seal and the certifier's logo. Organic, which is any product that contains a minimum of 95% of organic ingredients. The 5% must be approved on the national list and not commercially available as organic. You can use all seals and logos. Made with organic ingredients, this is products that contain at least 70% organically produced ingredients, excluding salt and water, with a number of detailed constraints regarding ingredients that comprise the non-organic portion. But on these products, you can't use the seal. So what is the purpose of an inspection? It is to verify what is written on your organic system plan is actually occurring. Your inspector is the eyes and ears of the certification agency. They are there to watch for areas where risk to organic integrity may occur. They are to observe, verify, and report back to the certifier. So what can you expect at inspection? They'll start out by conducting an opening meeting. They will ask questions about the operation. They will go through all your paperwork to create an audit trail. They will visit all your fields, transitional, conventional, and organic, all equipment, processing facilities, storage areas. They will conduct a traceability audit. This is where they trace from seed to sale to make sure that you have all of the documentation required. They will do an inventory balance. They will check to see what you have left in your bins or on your shelves and make sure that what you produced less what you sold equals what is left. Then they will conduct an exit interview. The exit interview will list items that the producer or processor can fix right away. Send in this information to your certifier as soon as possible. And then they'll forward all of the reports to your certification agency. So lastly, the National Organic Certification Cost Share Program. So for 2023, they are going to reimburse up to 75% or $750 per category of certification. So $750 for crops, $750 for livestock, and $750 for handling and processing if you happen to do any of the others. Costs that are eligible for reimbursement are application fees, inspection costs, equivalency agreement fees, travel for the inspectors, user fees, and sales assessments and postage. So steps for reimbursement: go to the website fsa.usda.gov/organic or contact your Farm Service Agency office for an application. Submit the cost share application to your Farm Service Agency, county offices, or participating state agencies. Submit the application, your W-9 tax form, copy of your organic certification document, and itemized invoice showing the amount paid for certification. Deadline for this year, October 31st. Funds are limited and applications are paid on a first come, first served basis, so don't delay. So join us, the United States, to become certified organic. You can convert your land in stages or all at once. Certification takes 36 months from the last application date of prohibited substances to certifying an organic crop. You have the potential to improve your farm's soil health, protect the environment, enjoy better health, and support your family through higher profitability. Going organic is much easier than you think. Thank you for allowing me to share this information with you, and I would be pleased to answer any questions.
Well, thank you, Marg. That was great. Some great information, really helpful, I'm sure, for many people. And just in closing here, I just want to let everyone know that, you know, your Marg is definitely available for questions about this process through the you can find her through the OCIA website. Maybe do you have like a better way for contact for people, Marg?
Sure.
Just
Sure, they can call me anytime at 402-477-2323, extension 102, or probably easiest is my email, ocia04.re@gmail.com.
great. And just in closing, I just wanted to let folks know that we do have some other events coming up, including some events that are sponsored with OCIA. Sorry, I'm just pulling these up real quick. For some reason, this is odd the way I can see my screens. So we have an Intro to Organic Ag Field Day on September 28th in Menoken, North Dakota. If you happen to be in North Dakota, at Menoken Farms, which is with Jay Fuhrer, who is a pretty well-known name up in those parts. And it's also going to be in cooperation with a large-scale organic wheat farm, Dr. Organics. And you can find out about that, and then also our other AcresUSA events at events.acresusa.com, including our Healthy Soil Summit, which is coming up August 23rd, 24th in Monterey. And then, of course, our EcoAg Conference, December 4th through 7th.